You like, Sherelle, what you got going on? You got the bobbing, yes. The face is beat, yes, I know. So today was branding shoot day. I do like these every other month, small like miniature brand shoots, just to keep my creative juices flowing, to keep my brand fresh and new, and just to have content constantly flowing. You know, everything is content, and really, like this year I just want to elevate my content. So I have scheduled like these small mini branding sessions, photo shoots if you will, just to elevate my content in 2025, because that's what I said I'm doing. So anyway, thank you guys for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Sherelle Gilbert. I am a Huntsville realtor and content creator, and I'm just here to inspire you to live well. So living well spiritually, financially, physically, in your home, personally, all the things. So welcome. So today I want to do a little sit down video. You guys have loved the home tours, so those will be back. I'll probably do home tours, neighborhood tours, maybe once a month, but you guys have really liked those. I appreciate the feedback that I've been getting, so yeah, I'll keep them coming. But today I wanted to do a sit down video. Since I have my face done, I was like, I might as well record a video. So I wanted to do specifically on tips for saving for a home. I feel like everybody who wants to purchase a home, people who are thinking about buying a home, the first thing that comes to mind is the financial piece. Like, where is this money coming from? How am I going to save? What does that look like? And even if you aren't saving for a home, I feel like these tips are beneficial, because I particularly am not, kind of, sort of, yes, maybe down the line, but right now my goal is not saving for a home. My goal is to completely get rid of all of my debt and to really, I guess, yeah, save for a home at some point, because we are going to purchase another home, but that's neither here nor there. We're just saving, period. In 2025, we're budgeting, we're becoming better stewards of our money, we're improving our financial literacy, we're doing all the things. These are things that I have desired for myself, and since I am a realtor and, you know, financial is a big piece of real estate, I want to incorporate that into my videos, my teaching, and just kind of give you guys tips on how to budget and save and be better stewards of your money for whatever it is that you're trying to do. Whether it's real estate, whether, you know, you're saving to buy a new car, whether you're saving to move, like whatever the case is, these tips I feel like will be helpful. So I did me a little research on some tips to save. And I just basically compiled a list of things that I'm currently doing, but also things that I found that could be helpful and things that I may at some point do myself. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to say before we even start getting into the tips, I want to challenge you to change your mindset around budgeting. So I know when you hear budgeting or saving, it sounds like a punishment. It sounds like you can't do the things that you want to do. It sounds like, you know, cutting out all the fun. But really, creating a budget and having a plan gives you structure. So there were some technical difficulties here, but I wanted to say to think of your budget like a roadmap. It shows you exactly where your money needs to go so that you can actually reach your goal. So whether you're saving for a home, a dream vacation, or you're just wanting to live stress-free, a budget can help you be intentional about that goal. Remember that it's not about restriction, it's about intention. So when you tell your money where to go, you stay in control, thus having the freedom that you desire. So I know sometimes when you hear those words, it can sound like punishment, it can sound like restriction, but I'm all about creating a plan that allows you to still have that fun, but also helps you focus on those goals. I'm all about giving you fun, creative, and doable ways to save coins without feeling deprived. So I don't want this for you to feel like a punishment or restriction. We're still gonna have fun, but it's so important to remember what your goal is, but then also have a plan where you do structure in some fun, but you don't forget about those goals along the way. If that makes sense, okay? Let's get into it, okay? So the first thing that I found, which was very cool, this is something I did some years ago, was creating like a savings jar. So you can call this your dream home savings jar. You can go old school, like this is a little old school, you know, where you're actually saving actual cash. You know, I know not everybody carries cash, but that's why I say it's a little old school, but this is a way where you can kind of visualize, not even kind of, where you can visualize your money stacking, basically. So you can get something, let me see, something like this, mason jar. Remember when mason jars were like a whole thing, like we were decorating with them, and yeah, if you were into that farmhouse era, then you remember the mason jars. But you can use something like this, or you can get something a little bit more modern, but something with a lid I think is helpful, or something, you know, we can close it up. But you can create your savings jar out of a mason jar. One of the suggestions that I saw was to print like a picture of like maybe your dream home, or just a home, and put it in here, like put it so you can see it, and then, you know, toss your money in here, toss your savings. So basically, so you want to make it as aesthetic as possible so that it's something that you are drawn to, or something that you want to do. So every time you get a little extra money, or an unexpected refund, or some side hustle cash, or even like that $5 bill that's in your pocket, or some change that's in your purse, drop it in there, and watching it fill up is very satisfying. So like I said, I did this a while ago, and I do remember how satisfying it was. But even as a child, I had a piggy bank, and I used to enjoy like tossing in some coins in there and watching it fill up. So we're gonna take it back old school with this one and get that visual satisfaction with your 2025 piggy bank. So yeah, and then another rule like I saw for this one, or a bonus, is to set a rule. So whenever you almost spend something unnecessary, like you almost went to Starbucks but you decided not to, take that money that you would have spent at Starbucks and drop it in your piggy bank, or your savings jar. So that's a great tip. I found that to, like I said, be something that I've done before, but the fact that it's come up again means that it's worked for people. So this is another one, and I kind of hinted at this in my most recent post, where I did a Style Tip Tuesday that included some money saving style tips. So this one is a no spend challenge, and it says, but make it a game. So you can pick 2 or 3 categories, like eating out, shopping, store runs like Amazon, things like that. Challenge yourself to go 30 days without spending. So I know this is tough. My husband and I actually did this for January. We did a no spend month, but for us it was eating out, because that adds up. I mean, you go for lunch here, you think, oh, it's just $20 here, and then maybe 15 there, and then 30 here, but that stuff adds up, y'all. Quick little intermission. My dog needs to go outside. I'll be right back. So yes, you will be surprised at how eating out, how much you spend on that per month. Like, I would just encourage you, like, just to do that. Like, take inventory of, let's say, your January or December or whatever. Take inventory of your previous month. Calculate or add up all of the times you ate out. So that includes Starbucks, grabbing a coffee from, you know, Starbucks or your local coffee shop, your lunch, your dinner, anytime you ate out. Add all of that up and see what that total is. Like, if it's not a gut punch, and something that makes you like, this is a problem. So my husband, like I said, my husband and I did that for January. We actually only ate out twice. So like sit down dinner, we only ate out twice. And then, I think twice. So we did a sit down dinner once, in January. And then 2 times we went to Cava, which I know in my last video I said no fast food, and Cava to me doesn't really count. So, and that was a day that we both had like a long day. But anyway, so we did, it was like a total of 3 times versus, I'm embarrassed to say for December, how many times. But anyway, to see how much we saved or did not spend on eating out in January versus December was mind-blowing. So, I said all that to say that I challenge you to do a no spend month. Like whatever it is that you feel like you do a lot of, whether it's store runs for clothes. Again, see my recent Instagram post where I give you some style saving hacks or style saving tips. But yeah, whether it's eating out, I know eating out is a big thing for a lot of people. So if you can, challenge yourself to a no spend month in whatever category, and just kind of see how, like compare it to a previous month versus that month, and you will see how much you are saving or not spending. And whatever it is that that you saved or did not spend, I would encourage you to put that into a savings account. So yes. But yeah, so basically that's what it says. It says at the end of the challenge, transfer what you would have spent into your savings. And saving, we'll talk about this at some point, but the type of savings account should be like a high yield savings account. But we'll get to that. So yeah, you can make it fun by turning it into a competition. So it can be you and your spouse, you and a friend. But yeah, my husband and I did it together, and we literally patted ourselves on the back, like gave each other like a high five, because we were like, dang, we did that in January, but we did it together. So I feel like having some type of accountability when it comes to these no spend challenges is really what's going to help you be successful. So make sure you have some type of accountability partner. So another one that I saw, which was interesting, is called the Fun Money Flip. So turn your shopping habit into a savings habit. So this one is for girls who love to shop, but instead of completely cutting yourself off, every time you buy something new, like a new pair of shoes, makeup, clothes, this is in the fun category, put the same amount into your savings. So if you bought a dress for $50, transfer $50 to your savings. So that's a challenge in itself, because if you like, well, I've only budgeted $50 this month for a dress or whatever, then you got to think about, now you have to put that same amount into a savings. So that actually can be fun. So it says it's like match your spending game, which it keeps your budget balanced while still letting you enjoy a little luxury. So again, like for me, like my no spend challenge included no buying like any new clothing items. But I did need to buy one thing. But I did set a limit for myself. Like if I do have to buy something clothing wise, this is my budget. Like it's $50 or $60 or whatever. But yeah, that actually sounds fun. So flip your Fun Money Flip. So that actually sounds fun. Another one which a lot of people should be familiar with is like a side hustle stash. So we love multiple streams of income. So that extra money you're making from your side hustle, if you do have a side hustle, it is time to designate it to your down payment. So if you do have a side hustle, or you can find, even like now that it's, it's going to be warm soon, doing things like selling things outside of your home. I know some people who like to sell things on Facebook Market, maybe things around your house that you don't use, don't want, you can sell it. So that could even be like your little side hustle where you basically sell things that you own. So things like Uber, DoorDash, babysitting, if you braid hair. I used to braid hair, and I am not opposed to ever like braiding hair to make some extra funds. I've done that a couple years ago, where I got back in the game just because I needed some money, and that actually helped me a lot. So whatever type of side hustle you can quickly do, something that, you can dedicate some time to, but use that strictly for your savings. So again, like I said, DoorDash, Uber, You know, if you have a skill, whether it's makeup or hair, whatever the case may be, create some type of side hustle that you can specifically dedicate that money towards your savings. So I have a little side hustle. If you don't know, my background is in mental health, social work. So I do assessments for my dad's business. So yes, I have a little side hustle myself. But yeah, and I use that money from that side hustle I just dump it right into my savings. So another one is the subscription detox. So any subscriptions, I know, like, we'll subscribe to something or do the 30-day or 7-day trial and then forget. But you'd be surprised at how many subscriptions you have that you aren't even using, that you don't even watch, whether it's Hulu, Paramount Plus, I mean, the list goes on. Take an inventory of these subscriptions, these apps and things that you have that you may not be using or you don't use often, and cancel them. Just cancel them, sis. If you don't use it weekly, then you're not using it. So cancel it. I've had to cancel a few subscriptions that I do not use or that we don't use often enough. Cancel it, sis. So do that. Let's see. What else? Oh, here's another one that I thought was cute. So the Stay In and Slay Date Night Fund. So we all know that dining out can add up. So instead of dropping coins every week on brunch, you can host an at-home brunch with your girls. So DIY mimosas. You can each, bring your favorite brunch dish. Or if you and your spouse, you can plan a cozy date night in. My husband and I have been cooking majority of our meals at home. Like I said, in January, we did not eat out. We're continuing that habit into February. So we would alternate or, kind of take turns cooking. But one night we decided to cook together, and that was like our little in-house date night. So you can get creative with that instead of eating out. One thing that I like to do is challenge myself to recreate dishes that I've had at restaurants. Recreate them at home, and 9 times out of 10 they taste so much better. Like, if we're being real, like, a lot of times our food that we cook at home is so much better. Like, we just enjoy going out, the experience, the convenience of it. But there's been quite a few meals that I've made at home and I'm like, this tastes so much better. So challenge yourself to that. Another thing of the Stay In and Slay is meal prepping. So meal prepping is a great way to save money because, again, you're not eating out every meal. You can buy in bulk. You can buy essentially like the same protein or same veggies and make different meals out of that. So meal prepping is definitely a money saver. And basically you want to take what you would have spent on eating out, again, and move that to your savings. So these small changes make a huge difference. And here's another tip that I thought was fun. So I know let's say you like to travel, you enjoy traveling, and this year you want to save. You still like to travel, but you also want to save for your house. So one thing that you can do that I saw that was fun is a vacation fund fake out. So basically, you're traveling, but you're being smart with it. So instead of crossing vacations off your list completely, so you can try a staycation in your own city. So you can book a cute Airbnb, explore local gems that you've never experienced, and you can still feel kind of bougie, if it's things you've never done before. So that's a great way to save money because you're not paying for your flight, you're not paying for some expensive hotel for multiple nights, you're not doing, a whole bunch of local things or in that area, you're doing things here locally, maybe 1 or 2 things, and it can be one night staycation where you book an Airbnb that's maybe $100 and then you do something fun for one day. Another thing that you can do is do a mini road trip instead of flying. So that can also save you a lot of money. It can also be a little safer right now if we're being real because, the way these airplanes are, yeah, that's another. But yeah, so booking a mini road trip instead of flying is a great way to save money. And you can basically use the money that you save on the flights and the hotels and put it in your home down payment fund, savings fund. So this can still give luxury vibes, but on a budget. And like when you take your little road trip, I know sometimes road trips don't sound as fun or as luxe as flying, but you can make it as luxe as you want. You can rent a car, which could also, again, be a lot cheaper than flying. You can put on your favorite playlist. Like, you have the luxury of coming and going as you please. So that's another option that I thought was cool and cute. And then the final option, or the final suggestion or tip that I saw, is Dream Home Vision Board. Because this is what we're manifesting, this is what we're praying for. Whatever it is that you do, this can apply. So your Dream Home Vision Board. So me personally, I don't do vision boards anymore. I don't have anything against them. I'm just over them. There was several years where me and my friends were doing them all the time. And now I'm just like a pen to paper kind of girl, like writing out my goals and going about my business. But if you still do vision boards, that is completely fine. This tip may be for you. So basically, creating a vision board with photos of your dream home, decor inspo, and the sold sign with your name on it. Put it somewhere where you can see it every day to stay motivated. So this will always remind you of what your goal is. And even if you're not a vision board girly, if you do sticky notes, or if you like to, let's say, write on your mirror, like something that you can see every day that can remind you of your goal of home ownership, you should do it. So you basically put it somewhere you see every day so you be motivated. And when you feel tempted to spend on something unnecessary, ask yourself, will this get me closer to my home buying goal? If the answer is no, sis, then it can wait. You can pass on it. If you've already had your Starbucks fix, or you've already purchased Starbucks once this week, and you're thinking about it again, or you're like, well, it's this other new coffee shop, and I'm talking to myself when I say this because y'all know I love a good coffee shop. But if you're like, I've never been to this coffee shop, or it's something new, but you've already purchased some coffee this week, ask yourself, is this purchase going to get me closer to my goal? And if it's not, I'm going to have to pass. So basically, so those are all my tips, or the things that I found, which I found to be very helpful tips. So basically, saving for a down payment doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be a struggle. Like, you can find creative and unique ways to save money. It doesn't have to be, it just doesn't have to be boring. You can make it fun. You can get creative with it. Like, again, shameless plug, my most recent Instagram post where I shared how you can save money by shopping your closet. That's another thing. A lot of times we have events coming up and we think, oh, I gotta buy something new. Oh, I have to buy something new. When you literally you probably have at least 3 options in your closet that you can wear. It's all about reworking those pieces, turning them into something new. Like, you can do it. But anyway, these are just some fun, helpful, creative ways to save. But the most important thing is your mindset, because you can have all of the tips in the world, you can have all the ideas in the world, but if your mindset is not right, then nothing is going to work. So getting that mindset together, reminding yourself what your goal is, what your why, and keeping your why in the back of your mind. So that's what's going to help change that mind shift, or that mindset. Is thinking about, why do I want to do this? What does home ownership mean to me? What does getting into a new home this year, a new home next year mean to me? What would that look like for my family? Like, thinking about what your why is. Are you the first generation, or the first person in your family to own a home? Does this home mean that now you can, and this will be an investment property? Is this something that you want to leave as a legacy to your children? What is your reason, or what is your why? Thinking about that why is what's going to help keep you motivated, especially on days when you don't feel motivated. It's what's going to keep you disciplined and keep your eyes on the prize. And I say this as I'm encouraging myself, because I've been there before, trying to save and budgeting and being on a good streak, and then feeling like, oh my goodness, like I'm so restricted, or I can't do this or can't do that. But instead of thinking about the things that you can't do, like instead of saying like, man, I can't go to my favorite restaurant every week, or I can't go and get coffee every week. Instead of saying what you can't do, say I get to save this money because it's going towards my new house. I get to make my meals at home because it's going to save for my new house, or it's going to help me get to my new house, or it's going to get me closer to my new house. So instead of thinking about the things that you can't do, think about the things that you will be able to do as a result of you sticking to your plan. Okay? So, I hope you hear me loud and clear. We're going to do this, and I'm going to keep you accountable. We're going to keep each other accountable. And I'm going to continue just sharing more tips like this for people who want to do better with their money, who want to just be better stewards. Whether, again, like I said, whether your goal is home ownership or just getting out of debt or whatever the case may be, I feel like all of these tips are very helpful. So, yeah. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you have a favorite saving tip that you like, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to see what everybody else is doing, or you know, we can share and encourage each other. And yeah, if you have anything else that you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. I feel like this video was getting long, but let me see, make sure I got what I needed. Okay, yeah, that's it. I covered everything that I wanted to cover for you guys. But yeah, I guess I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.